Marvel. Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us with the inaugural edition of Big Damn Geeks TV. I am joined by my good friend Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude Rasch, yeah.
I am, as always, Big Damn Pete. So thank you guys for joining us today. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what they got coming up right now. John, what are we going to be going over?
We're going to be talking about Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spiderman Homecoming, Captain Marvel, Thor Ragnarok, and Black Panther. So a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about this YouTube.
Obviously, Doctor Strange is the one closest coming out right now, so we've seen quite a few of the trailers. What are your initial reactions to them?
I'm actually pretty excited about Doctor Strange. I really can't wait for it to come out. When I first heard about it, I wasn't really sure. I'm not sure. I was like, I'm bored for it, but after seeing a few trailers, I think has like a good like ratio of like a little bit funny, a little bit like weird, and like it kind of reminds me of like a Matrix or something like that.
It's kind of been described as being Marvel's version of Inception.
Yeah, it does have that
It's a lot
Inception
of
feel.
mind-bending, like deep thought kind of processes going on. I'm really excited for it. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is the perfect guy to play it. People have been kind of hinting at that for years that he should play, and it seems only proper that they give him that role. I shouldn't say give him that role. I'm sure he probably had to audition,
yeah.
but he deserves it, I think, and I think he's going to do a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely looks like Doctor Strange, like straight out from the comics. So
it's interesting too because it's one of the trailers. You and I have personally spoken before about how superhero trailers don't always give you a good sense of story.
Yeah.
But I think the most recent Doctor Strange trailers have really kind of given you a good idea of who the villain is, what's going on, what he's working to fight against, and the general story overall. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited that they're actually kind of giving you a hint at what you're going to see.
Yeah, definitely. And you're getting a little bit of everything. I like that humor aspect of it. Like the last little part of the trailer that we just saw, where they're like saying like, what is this, my mantra? And he's like,
no, it's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was really funny. Like, so comic book movies should be kind of like lighthearted, I feel, and just give you like that drama, but also that comedy aspect of it. It should be serious, but have some comedy relief to it.
I agree. That's what has kind of made Marvel stand out, is even their most serious movies kind of have those hints of comedy and a little bit of levity to lighten the mood, whereas DC's kind of with their recent outings have kind of been more on the serious side with very little in the way of levity. What do you got next on your list?
Next, we're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I don't really know much about the plot of this one. I haven't really done a lot of research on it. So have you heard?
I know there's new members of the team, new characters. I'm not that familiar with the Guardians outside of the first movie. They weren't characters I really read about in comics or anything like that. I've only seen them a little bit in some of the animation that Marvel has done. But it's definitely going to continue on with the same main characters we had from the first, plus one or two new ones, anything like that. I've only seen them a little bit in some of the animation that Marvel has done, but it's definitely going to continue on with the same main characters we had from the first, plus one or two new ones. I know Kurt Russell, two other big name actors.
I think Sylvester Stallone, I think he's in there.
That's right, yeah. Sylvester Stallone is signed on to play somebody, so we'll see where that goes.
I mean, that's pretty exciting to have Sylvester Stallone in a comic book movie is. Like,
I mean, everybody at this point is going to end up being in a Marvel
yeah,
movie sooner or later.
All the big stars are going to want to be in some kind of Marvel or at least some comic book related type movie. They're like the biggest thing going on right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when a trailer finally drops for that, because obviously music is a big part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I've got the soundtrack to the first movie on my phone.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. We'll have Volume 2 coming out of that. So what's next?
The next thing we're going to be talking about is Spiderman Homecoming.
So, like the title suggests, Spider-Man has come home to Marvel as far as the movie rights go.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. They're still working with Sony, but we get Spider-Man in our greater cinematic universe with Tom Holland playing Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
I mean, I really hope that this Spider-Man like hits it home. Like, I know the last couple Spider-Mans, like, people were a little bit divided about it. Is it rumor, or is it like now that they announced the villain?
It's not been made official, but everybody pretty much knows that Michael Keaton is playing the Vulture.
Yeah,
Adrian Toomes.
No.
And now the rumor is that another guy has been cast to play the Tinkerer, and he will be kind of like Vulture's underling, like mechanics, science guy type of deal.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. A lot of people cast in that movie.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be a different look at Spider-Man in high school, whereas the last two iterations, Tobey Maguire, pretty much the first movie begins with him ending in high school and going on to college.
Yeah.
And I don't even really remember if he was in high school or not.
Oh,
yes, he was. He was in high school in the Andrew Garfield ones. So we'll see how that goes, story-wise.
And I'm enjoying that, like, it's gonna be part of the broader, like, Marvel universe. So I think Iron Man's gonna be in this movie.
That's the rumor, yeah.
And I like that combination between Iron Man and Spider-Man, like how he looks up to him and everything, and like it's interesting how like the dynamic between the two characters.
So after that, we're gonna have Captain Marvel, which they've officially announced recently. I can't think of the actress's name. I'm having a total brain fart moment. But that's going to be really interesting, because that's going to deal also with kind of like the space police, essentially, in that kind of Guardians of the Galaxy-esque part of the
bring
universe.
It out into like a broader universe. That's why I actually like bringing it back to Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that's what I really enjoyed about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just that like when I first was seeing it come out, like I didn't think it was gonna do good. I thought it was gonna be a total flop, and then like after I watched it, I was like, wow, this is like a really enjoyable, fun movie. So it's like, I hope that they do the same thing with Captain Marvel, and like just being either way, like the movies just have to be fun and enjoyable. Like as long as they keep on track, what they've been doing, I think they're gonna do great with the cinematic universe.
Yeah, definitely. Brings us to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok.
Which I'm kind of referring to as the Thor and Hulk buddy
team
film.
up or something.
Yeah, because it definitely looks like they're taking some stuff from the Planet Hulk, World War Hulk storylines in the comics and bringing that into Thor's world. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that up.
So I don't know much about that particular aspect, but like what happens in
essentially, Hulk becomes such a danger to the greater Marvel universe that a group called the Illuminati, who is like Professor X, Mr. Fantastic, Iron Man, Black Bolt, who's the leader of the Inhumans, Namor. If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sure you'll yell at me in the comments below in all capital letters. But they essentially take Hulk and shoot him into space.
Okay.
Because he's been such a big problem
and stuff.
And he lands on this other planet of these super beings, essentially, that kind of not quite match him in strength, but are like huge like he is.
Okay.
And he kind of fights in like an arena type situation, which is kind of interesting. So that they're thinking that's going to play partially into the plot of Ragnarok.
I mean, that would be pretty awesome seeing like the Hulk in an arena. Like, that sounds like the concept of it sounds really cool.
A lot of people are going to be in this movie too. Carl Urban, who played Judge Dredd,
Okay.
and also his Bones in the Star Trek films, is playing a character whose name I'm also brain farting on, but he carries a big friggin' axe.
Okay.
Jeff Goldblum is going to be in it,
that's
along
awesome.
with returning characters as well. So I'm really excited for that, because I always thought that the Thor movies kind of stuck out as being very different.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the first Thor movie, like I didn't enjoy it as much. It like felt a bit rushed for me. But the second one was really well done. So I'm hoping they keep on track with this Thor, the third edition of it.
Possibly the last standalone Thor movie,
Yeah.
because of contracts and stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is Black Panther.
I'm kind of at a loss for this because, believe it or not, I've still not seen Civil War.
Oh, you still haven't seen it?
Yeah. I put it on.
Oh, jeez.
And it was late at night, and I thought I could make it through it, and I fell asleep. And I'd keep waking up and be like, I have no idea what's going on. Fall back asleep. Wake up. No idea what's going on. Fall asleep. Wake up. Oh, hey, there's Spider-Man. Fall asleep. And then eventually I was like, whatever. And I turned it off, and I just have not had the chance to watch it since. So now I'm at the point where I'm just waiting for it to officially be released.
Okay.
Instead of streaming it illegally. So I've seen very little of the Black Panther character in the movie, obviously, so I'm not quite sure what to expect, but it sounds like it's ramping up to be a very big movie.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen is, like, I loved the Black Panther movie. I mean, the Black Panther inside the Captain America movie. Like, he was, like, definitely a standout character for me. Like, yeah, his costume is amazing, and, like, I can't wait to see a movie about this character and, like, in their world, and just, like, how big he could go. Like, and his powers are just, like, really cool. He's like the Black Captain America kind of. Like,
pretty close to it. I mean, the metal that is Cap's shield is made out of comes from Wakanda.
Yeah.
His homeland. So it's gonna be interesting to see if maybe even Cap works into the Black Panther film at all, or maybe I'm saying something that somebody's like, "You're an idiot. We already know because we've seen Civil War, and you're jerk and haven't already." Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You know what? Give me some credit. I've gone this long without seeing spoilers for that damn movie, and if I have my way, it's going to continue. Now, if somebody I know posts something,
they're gonna spoil it.
In the comments below, I will find you and I will hurt you. Trust me, I'm a big guy. I will sit on you.
No, you won't.
I will. I will do it. I will waste the gas money to find someone and hurt them if they spoil it for me. I know it's long overdue. You can say that. The movie's was out for so long. It's been, yeah. Well,
You need to
shut up.
You need to watch it right now. We're going to stop this and watch it right now.
You know what? That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to stop recording. This episode is over. I've given you people enough time in my life. So thank you for watching.
That was awkward.
It's not awkward at all. As always, you can check out the website, BigDamnGeeks.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Both are Big Damn Geeks. If you want to check out our podcast that I do with Scully and Jack, you can check out on iTunes. Just do a search for Big Damn Geeks or the Big Damn Podcast. Not the Big Podcast. This is nothing to do with Shaq.
No.
Screw him.
No.
We were around first. He needs to come up with a new name.
Yeah, stole our name.
Who thinks of Shaq?
When talking
Honestly,
about big things.
Yeah. We're the big damn geeks around here. Screw you, Shaq. John, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Facebook, Art by Jean-Claude, Instagram, Jean-Claude Art, and my website, JeanClaudeRasch.com.
Which, for spelling purposes, is right here.
At the bottom. No.
Isn't it amazing how we do that? Just like I end the podcast, I'm going to end Big Damn Geeks TV the same way. For the inaugural edition, I'm going to come up with something new for later on. But we end every podcast by saying we like you. We have no taste, but we like you anyway. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.